Unscripted.
From the heart.
From the heart.
From the heart.
Real
Real
talk.
talk. Real talk.
Real talk. Welcome back again to the Real Talk. From the heart, we speak things that are in our hearts. Thank you very much for your love, for your support in every comment that you send to us. Thank you very much. Today I want to talk about my father. My father is one special man in my life, the man that raised the man that I am today. My father was not the kind of a man who would talk too much. My father didn't talk. He does not talk too much. I don't remember in my life where my father sat me down or sat with me and he said to me, "Boy, this is how you live. This is how you take care of your family. This is how you take care of your kids, your children." My father never sat down with me and taught me or say stuff that builds me. But rather, my father was a good exemplar. My father was doing stuff. His teachings and his talk was through his actions more than talking to us. My father he is not a typical man, a Mosotho man or African man who believed that certain things are done by women and certain things are done by men. My father was not that type of man. He is not that type of man. As I said, my mother was sick for many years, bedridden. My father was taking all the responsibility about my mother, making sure that my mother was clean. She had food, everything that she needed. My father was there to provide. And when my father left the mines to come back home to take care of my mother, we also wanted to be part of helping our mother and our father, because we still think and thought that my father didn't deserve to do certain things, but yet he was showing us those things that he was doing in the house were literally things that we need to do as men to our wives. My father, even up to this day, my father cleans the house. My father cooks. My father washes dishes. My father would not come and make a cup of a tea and leave that cup of a tea uncleaned or unwashed. He would wash it. My father cooked for us. My father cleaned the house. My father was doing everything that most men wouldn't do. I remember, even though he was so depressed at sometimes, when he sees my mother in that condition where my mother was very sick, my father, you'd see that this is eating him up, it's destroying him, but he never showed it to us. He was not that kind of a father who would make us feel that taking care of our mother was a burden to him. It wasn't. My father would not wash. We used to wash in the basins. Then after you have washed in the basin, then you have to take the water out to pour it out. My father was not a man who would wash himself and leave that dirty water for my mother to put out. Never. That was not my father. My father would wash and go throw away that water. Then my father never sat me down and said, "This is how you take care of your family, your wife, and your kids. You must clean the house, you must cook, you must do all these things." It's my mother who was always saying that, and my mother was always pushing and making us clean the house and cook. But we could see from my father without talking that this is how we as boys should do to our families and our wives. Up to this day, I clean my own house, I cook, I wash my own clothes. I do everything. There's no job in my life that is specifically for my wife or for a woman that I'm going to marry. I was married before. Unfortunately, I was divorced. I remember there was a day when we were fighting with my ex-wife. We were talking about stuff. I don't know what was happening that time, but there's words that she said to me that will be with me for the rest of my life. She said, "I wish you can love me the way your father loves your mother." My father loved my mother. My father, there was no way that you can find my father absent at home, maybe sleeping somewhere, maybe having another affair or another woman. My father was always at home, cleaning, cooking, doing everything for us and my mother. My father refused even some of the help that family members would want to give, like some of my aunts would want to come and take care of my mother or take my mother to their homes to take care of her, just to give my father a break. But my father wouldn't let that happen. And he would not even let us feel like we are forced or we are obligated to help our mother. He didn't like that. That was his job as the father and as a husband to my mother. But my point here is a lot of men out there, they talk, but they don't act. My father talked a million words without saying anything to me. And I cook, and even if I'm going to get a wife, my wife is my sister, my wife is my friend, my wife is my partner, and I would not let my girl, my wife, clean the house, do all these things, and I just fold my hands and watch TV. I cannot do that. I am a hands-on man simply because my father showed that to me without saying any word, without uttering any word, but with his actions. He showed me that this is how you take care of your family and your wife and your kids. So today we have a lot of men who are good at saying stuff, but failing to act or to portray whatever they want their kids to do. That's why we have a lot of boys who are abusing girls at this time, because we as men, we're failing to show that good character to our kids so that they follow it. They see this is how things are done in this house, therefore I have to follow suit. I would urge every man out there that don't talk too much, but please, with your actions, show the boys how these things are done. We are not treating our wives with respect, our girlfriends, our sisters, our aunts, our cousins. We don't show some respect to them. But then, on the other hand, we want our sons to respect them. That will never happen. It won't happen at all. But if we as men, if we can just show by our actions how the family is run in the house, then the boys will follow suit. My mother would force us to clean the house, would force us to do things. But at that time, we were angry. We didn't understand that she was building us. And she would always say to me and us as boys, she was always so loud and outspoken about this thing, the issue of, if I have a wife, that wife of mine is not my doormat, and she's not my slave. If I marry somebody, I marry somebody that I love and somebody that I'm going to spend my life with. And if she says I'm tired today, I should pick up and cook. I should not force my wife to clean and cook all the time. It's how my parents raised me. Then, and it always pisses me off if I see a man dominating a woman in a way of saying, you clean, you cook, cook, you do all these things, and you don't even wash the plate that you used or the cup of tea that you used when you found the sink clean. You just eat and leave everything there, everything mess, and you expect another person to come and clean after you. So I'm so thankful to my father. My father is wonderful. He is a very wonderful father, and he taught me millions and millions of things without saying a word. My father never cheated on my mother. My father never left us. My father never felt that my mother does not fulfill her responsibilities as a woman to him. But he picked up from where my mother left off because of sickness, and he was there full time, cooking, cleaning. And I don't remember even one day my father complaining that I'm tired of cooking for you. I'm tired of cleaning the house. He never did that. And I told myself that when I marry, my wife is not forced to clean the house. We will clean the house. Me and her, we will clean the house. If she's cooking, I clean the dishes. If I cooked, she must clean the dishes. We need to understand, today we're cleaning the house. We're doing spring cleaning. I must be part of that. I should not let her do all the hard work in the household and watch her, or just go to boys, or just go to enjoy life and leave her doing all these things. No, my father never taught me like that. I'm the man that I am today because of my father. My father showed me how to take care of a family. My mother taught me, but my father showed me. There's a saying that says, show me, I'll know. But teach me, I'll forget. But now, guys, please, let's change the way we do things and take care of our families and teach the boys. The boys needs to be taught by our actions. The way you speak to your father, the mother, it is a message to your son. The way you speak to your wife, it is a message to your son. The way you speak to your cousins, your aunts, it's a message to them. But if they can pick up that you respect the female in your household, the boys will follow suit. You don't need to work hard, but your actions will make those boys to understand that, hey, this is how things are done in this house. I love my father. There's so much stories that I'm going to say about my father that changed my life without him sitting me down and talking to me. I hope this was the beautiful one. I hope young boys and whoever watches this will understand that we as fathers, whatever we do, it is a message, it's a concrete, very strong message that we send to the boys without saying it. That is why some of the boys would say, I don't want to be like my father, for my father never loved my mother, because they saw it as they grow up. And I would never choose any father than my father, because he taught me so much without saying, you must do this, but by him being an exemplar and doing it as the man in the house, cleaning the house, cooking, and doing all these things as if they didn't mean anything, as if there was no taboo for my father. And my father he was not ashamed to wash, to clean my mother's clothes and everything, because he understood that love between two people, it is about unison, about unity, about love, about understanding that if my wife says I'm tired today, then I will have to pick up and clean the house and cook for her, or see another alternative. I cannot force her to do things that I cannot do. So I thank God that I was raised by a strict mother who taught me how to clean and wash and do all things that are done in the house. I'm so blessed that I was born from the Father who was cleaning the house, doing everything in the house to show us how things are done in his family and in his house. That is why I'm so thankful to him, to my Father. So now, all men, all boys, please take care of your family. Take care of your family. Don't care what people are saying. Maybe your friends would say stuff and try to do a lot of stuff and say horrible things. Forget about them. What you want is peace and joy and happiness, harmony in your family. I hope this was beautiful, and I hope somebody learned something. Let's just be exemplars and do loud speaking. We have to speak loud in our actions more than in our words, because words don't mean nothing if are not going together with the actions. That was the real talk. That was from the heart, the real talk. Guys, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. May the good God bless you. May the good God protect you and answer all your prayers and give you all your heart desires. And let's keep it real and still worship and praise him at all times. Yeah, Jesus is Lord. Thank you very much. Real talk.